Eat these foods to get high testosterone. Or I'm a high test gamma male. Oh, did you guys hear that? That's a low T opinion. Shut the fuck up. Chasing testosterone is making you weak. Which is ironic, actually. I get it. Testosterone is sexy. It makes you more masculine. But it's overhyped. Let me explain. And later on in the video, I'll show you my personal readings, which gave me this insight. Here's me at, let's say, 300 nanograms per deciliter. I procrastinate, I'm sad, I have a hard time building muscle. These flipping marketers, these raw honey merchants, these exogenous testosterone vendors want you to believe that the 600 plus nanograms per deciliter version of yourself doesn't procrastinate. They're always in a good mood. Some will even say that it completely solves sadness and depression, which is nuts. Unfortunately not true. And you had a hard time building muscle, now you're jacked. Okay, the last one's actually true. It's way easier to build and keep muscle when you have high testosterone. But the other two are complete BS. If you procrastinated at 300 nanograms per deciliter, you're going to turbo procrastinate at 600 plus. The other day I sat down to do some work. An hour goes by. How much work is done? 0. But I'm incredibly well read on Chechen politics, which had nothing to do with my work. If you were sad or in a bad mood at 300, you're going to be sadder and in an even worse mood at 600, because testosterone does not completely change who you are, it just amplifies who you were at 300. It adds more horsepower to the brain and body. Now imagine chasing it. Some dude on Instagram tells you to buy his PDF where he tells you to go and eat whole foods high in fat, sometimes raw as well, which is actually not terrible advice, minus some of the raw stuff. Healthy fats are good, and fats are vital for hormonal health, which can boost testosterone. But let's say you can't obtain or simply afford a lot of these high quality whole foods. And you start stressing because the Instagram Reels man told you that all the other foods outside of the groups that he doesn't personally endorse are all poison and slowly killing you. That sounds pretty stressful. And you know, there's days where not every day is ideal. Some days you're way too busy to have all of these meals, and now you're stressing because you think you've undone all your work. And all of this stress, because you put yourself under all this pressure, is actually bad for your testosterone. Isn't that funny? So, if you never saw that video of the man on Instagram Reels, you lost the obsession with your testosterone reading, you'd likely be higher in testosterone because you wouldn't be stressing about it. For those of you who don't know, stress is very bad. Cortisol is very bad for test. The problem is that you're not fixing the problem. You're chasing a metric. You're chasing a number because you think it's hot. Let me tell you, I read incredibly high. I don't really go around saying that. But nothing magic happens. And I didn't do anything complex either. I've never in my life had raw honey. I've never in my life sunbathed my scrotum. I've done a few cold plunges just for fun, but I'm not convinced that they do anything. It's all bollocks. Oh yeah, and I touch receipts every day. A lot of them. And here's my reading. I've put it up on the screen now. And yes, some of it is genetic, of course. I do deserve some credit because I live a pretty healthy lifestyle. I look after myself, so I do have some authority here when it comes to this topic. Also, a little side note, I heard about this pheromones thing. Men with high test apparently admit this odorless scent that females pick up on subconsciously and find you more attractive. I've never experienced that. Anyway, I digress. Don't do all this shit that you think is good for your testosterone. Just do shit that you know is good for you, the simple stuff, and your test levels will rise anyway. If you had two identical twins with both identical test levels that are very low, and twin A followed a plan of cold showers, liver smoothies, and sunbathing his ballsack, and twin B simply went to the gym 4 times a week, ate balanced macros, and got good sleep, twin B is mogging twin A every time. Don't be obsessed with the metric, be obsessed with the mission. That's a good Instagram post. I'm going to do that. I'm going to post that. And you'll get the fucking metric anyway. People that think like this sort of move the blame off of themselves and onto something that they believe is naturally low and therefore no fault of their own. That's low test behaviour. Take responsibility and take action with meaningful, worthwhile steps. Join the Discord to become a high test gamma male.